I can't find a job. Like on some real shit, like I cannot find a job. And it's like it's just so crazy because me and my significant other, we was talking about, you know, coming out of college. And you know how when you get out of college and the summer starts and you try to look for a summer job for the 3 months to help pay off your school or just have some money on the side to when you go back to school, you're not just piss poor broke. And, you know, when I got home, my parents was like, oh, yeah, you're going to get that job at Amazon back. You're gonna try to go to BJ's. You're going to try to work at Walmart. Just keep applying. Just try to find some work. And it's like, it's so hard to find work. And I literally have like, I don't want to say a resume because I ain't finna, well, I guess I could give them my resume and give them proof that I have work experience. But it's just more along the lines of like, this is a job this is Walmart, bro. Like, this is BJ's. This is Amazon. It's not some career job where I'm trying to be a videographer for a high school football team or somewhere, high school in general. If I'm trying to be a photographer or Adobe Premiere editor for, Oregon Ducks or some shit. Like, something like that. This is just a job that, minimum wage, getting paid probably like 11 to 12 an hour. Amazon, they start you off getting paid 16, 17, depends on what your position is. Walmart, they start you off at 14, and the highest you can make is 28 an hour. But, I've been applying to so many jobs, and I just can't find one. And, I was doing my research a little bit, and obviously we know that we're in a time period where, job hunting and companies posting about, oh, yeah, we hiring. That shit is not really, they full of shit. That's all I'm going to say. Because a lot of the times, we see these job alerts and we see all this stuff, and majority of the time it's really just not even like available. Like a lot of companies go out and they say, oh, yeah, we're hiring, but they already found the people they want to hire. They're just trying to keep you on the side just in case, years later on down the line, if you want to sign up for them again. But nigga, you probably going to be successful as ever years on down the line. And they're probably going to hit you with an email like, hey, we seen your application. No, you didn't. You just now tried to look at the email I sent. Like, no, nigga, shut up. Like, and, it's just so unfortunate because, a lot of people got to get these jobs to start off their careers. You feel me? Like a lot of people are trying to get 9 to 5 so they could get their shit started, whatever the case may be. Or they just trying to see what it's like. They're trying to get experience just in case, because, it's not new for kids and teenagers to get jobs at an early age, obviously. But, just off the simple fact that, it's like jobs don't even want to hire people for part-time. And, I understand that they want full-time workers. They don't want nobody to just be coming in and only trying to work for 3 months and then leaving to go back to school. I get that, right? But it's just more along the lines of, if you don't want people to be part-time, if a person on the application said they'll work weekdays but not the weekends, why can't they do that? You feel me? Like, don't put that option up there. Say, look, if you want this job, you got to be able to work weekends. Don't give people the option to choose the days that they're available, because at that point, you already know that you're not finna hire them if they put, I can't work weekends, or I only can work 4 days out of the week. Like, if you want people to be slaving their life away, working 5 to 6 days a week, only 1 day off, then okay, put that on the application. Don't be sitting up here trying to have people waste their time, because that's what it really is, for a wasted time and, false hope. And another thing is just like, a lot of these jobs, they don't really need us no more. A lot of the times where we think that, these jobs are really hiring and shit, like a lot of these jobs really getting into the AI technology. You feel me? Like, we're hitting a new era where like human bodies are not really important no more, especially when it comes to warehouse jobs and shit like that. Like, literally before I left for Amazon, like a couple of months ago, when I went back to school, not even a couple months ago, it's about to be a year since I left that job. It was going under construction, a certain part of the building, and they was telling me like, yeah, they're going to start putting robots into the building so they could automatically package and ship down and, and shit like that. And it gets to a point where it's like, we're not going to be able to be We're not going to be able to have these jobs no more. It's starting to look like Detroit Become Human. Mind you, Detroit Become Human, it's a great game. And I feel like the world is going to turn right into Detroit Become Human. Starting off the game, you got robots, taking over people's jobs. You got people on the side of the road putting cardboard boxes and, you got people writing on cardboard boxes saying, robots took my job. I'm out of work. I'm homeless. Robots took my home. And then you got people buying robots and making them as, chefs and shit like that, making them as maids. Some of them even making them as sex workers and all type of shit. Like, this shit is like real. Like, Detroit Become Human was ahead of its time. And we got to understand that, this is where it's going to be. This is where the world is heading. And it was literally right in our face, with the video games, with Elon Musk, even with Mr. Biden and even with Trump, like these people, they know what they're doing. Like, first of all, they don't even give a fuck about us. Like, let's stop acting like one side is giving a fuck about us more than the other side. Like, they're both trying to get their own beneficial gain. You feel me? Like, they're not helping us. If anything, we know that these people want us to be, they want the richer to get richer and the poor to get poorer. Like, there's no more middle class. There's none of that. You're either high income or you're low income. And that's just unfortunate because a lot of the times when people are high income, obviously some have worked hard to get to that position, but others have family wealth, generational wealth. And we can't sit up here and act like there's more than even 5% of the world, out here living lavish off of just pure grinding. You feel me? Like, that is small percentile. Like, the people that are rich most likely have people like, back in the day where, they've owned businesses that are big as hell today. Like, companies like Walmart, Publix, McDonald's, fucking, Kroger, all those places. Like, that's off of generational wealth and those families, creating something that is everlasting. And shout out to them because they're smart as hell for even doing that. But all I'm saying is just that, when it comes to these jobs and not hiring no more, they don't need us no more. Like, for the past 2 years, I would say even since COVID, like, people have not been in jobs anymore. Like, people have not even thought about trying to go back to work. Well, first of all, there was a time period where unemployment checks was hitting like a motherfucker. And, why would you go to work if you just would get an unemployment check every month or some shit like that? And then another thing, it's like a lot of these jobs now, like I said, since it turned AI, the only jobs you can really get out here is if you have, the skills for it. Like, the trading jobs and all that, like those things or a trade, those are the type of things that a lot of people are going to have to start trying to get into, or got to find like a company that is still going based off of, human bodies. You feel me? Because, once this shit really turns like AI, like robots, and these corporations don't need us no more. Like, robots could take over cash registers. Robots can check the receipts. Robots can put the packages and shit together. Robots can put the slips on the packages and, tape them up and all that. Like, once these robots really start hitting the fucking corporations, bro, we're done. And like, we're already getting a taste of it. Like, literally, like this year, I'm pretty sure when I did my research, like, people have been out of work for like 10 weeks since the highest since 2017. So you're telling me, that rate is not going to increase as the years go by? Like, let's be real. Like, literally, the rates are going to increase. And before we know it, there's going to be a lot of people that you see that are probably going to be on the side of the road and probably end up saying, hey, I had a job. I was working there for 10 plus years. I've been loyal. I've done everything they asked me to do. And they just let me go just because it's a new era to where, now these robots are taking over. They don't need humans no more. And, it's going to hit the warehouses first. I'm already knowing. And then it's going to hit the fast foods. Then it's going to hit the grocery stores. And then next thing you know, nigga, this shit going to look futuristic. This shit ain't going to look like a world no more. This shit ain't going to look like what God created. Because you got to remember, everything beyond this point is just man-made, bro. Everything beyond this point is not made by the gracious of God. Everything is now being made by these people that got all this money in the world and don't want nobody to have, their own mind no more. Like, they want people to just be, yes, man. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. You know, they don't want people to have free mind no more. And, you know, and even we see it now, like when you have your own free mind and you say, hey, I'm not doing more than what I'm asked to do, they literally say, go fuck yourself. Like, this is nothing new. Like, this has been going on for years now. Like, and now we're just starting to see the true glimpse of it. Like, literally everything on my timeline is literally like corporations treat me like shit, jobs this, jobs that, you know. Even if you have a job, start doing something on the side like YouTube or something. Because at least when you're doing something on your own, you know, you're not controlled by something that don't even give a damn about you. So, dog, just I can't find a job, and you know it's tough out here. Like I've done a lot of research. I've been putting in applications. And, you know, I've been calling, but, you know, they can only care so much. You feel me? I can't make nobody care about why I would want to be there. You feel me? And majority of the time when they ask, why do I want to be here? Nigga, I ain't finna tell you I want to be here because I feel like I could be the manager at fucking Costco's. Like, no, nigga, I need money. We can't live in this world without money because everything is behind the dollar now. So, look, yeah, that's all I got to say, man. Hopefully everybody taking care of themselves. Y'all relate, comment down below. I love each and every one of y'all. Y'all stay up, stay motivated, stay positive, stay blessed, stay disciplined, stay yourself. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.